Some people have baptized him as the point god, but most basketball fans know him as Chris Paul, and we'll dive deep into his total net worth, lifestyle, and more. Christopher Emmanuel Paul was born on May 6, 1985 in Louisville, North Carolina, and his parents are Charles and Robin Paul. Just like for many other NBA players, sportsmanship ran in Chris's family. Chris's dad used to be an athlete, so he taught him and his older brother CJ the basics of basketball and football and pushed them to practice every day. When Paul wasn't training, he worked in a service station owned by his grandfather, Nathaniel Jones, also known as Papa Chili. Because of this, Chris became very close with his grandpa. Even though Chris was never a tall kid, he followed his brother's lead as a talented junior basketball player, being special for his speed and agility on the court. Once he grew in height during his high school career, Chris began to appear on the radar of multiple colleges that sent scholarship offers to his house. Paul eventually picked Wake Forest University since it was near his home and had a good basketball history. Everything seemed to go well in Paul's life, but sadly, one day his grandfather was killed during a robbery at his house. Nathaniel was 61 years old, and Chris was totally crushed. But the NBA star used this as inspiration, and he went on to score 61 points as a personal tribute to his grandfather during a high school game. Today, he is one of the most legendary NBA players in the world. He's been around for a long time now and is destined to end up in the Hall of Fame. But how does such a legend live day-to-day life? Let's take a look. The point guard that makes millions per year is known for having a lifestyle different from the rest of the athletes. Like many NBA legends, Paul spends the majority of his free time training. Even during the offseason, Paul keeps his body in shape with cardio drills and maintains his skills on point practicing free throws. In fact, he doesn't even have to go anywhere because he has everything he needs at his house. Chris also dedicates his time to his family and friends, spending quality time with them as much as he can. Paul is a very social person. He's often seen spending time with his brother CJ. Chris is also very close with people like LeBron James and Antoine Jamison. Due to his big group of loved ones, Paul's lifestyle has a lot of social gatherings, and even though he has a strict schedule, he manages to travel with his family and enjoy lovely vacations. Paul and his family have been seen chilling on beaches and trekking during their vacations. Chris's vacation spot of choice is the sea, of course. He usually books a yacht for his friends and family where he can display his amazing diving skills. But who is part of his family? And what is the name of his wife and children? Chris Paul is married to Jada, whom he met at Wake Forest. The couple has 2 children, a daughter, Cameron Alexis, and a son who was named after his father, Christopher Emmanuel. Chris's family call him CP3 because he, his father, and his brother all have the same CP initials. Paul's wife was born in Winston-Salem, North Carolina on February 16, 1984. Jada is famous for her charity work and her products as a fashion designer. She was responsible for the founding of the Chris Paul Family Foundation, which aims to provide resources to those in need, promoting equal access to sports and education. Jada also is in charge of the Jada Paul Prom Dress Giveaway, an organization that brings high school seniors together at a fancy hotel to give away dresses and make them look sharp before prom. Chris and Jada both work hard at what they do, and for this reason, they can live in a luxurious house. Paul and his family reside in a mansion in California. The house cost the basketball player a whopping $11.1 million. This 2-story mansion includes an attached guest house with a 5-car garage. The mansion covers an area of 12,000 square feet and has a cabana plus a swimming pool. Of course, to fit its owner, the house features its very own sports court. To be able to afford this impressive estate, Paul sold his Mediterranean-style house in Woodland Hills for $2.2 million. This house featured 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, and Chris bought it for $1.9 million. Besides this, Paul has also sold a Bel Air mansion for $8.7 million and a Calabasas mansion for $11.5 million. As you can see, the point guard is a real fan of fancy homes with a lot of space, and with his net worth, he can choose and purchase whatever mansion he wants. But houses aren't the only things the NBA legend likes to spend his money on. He also loves shopping for expensive cars. Paul loves to show off when it comes to driving and style. The NBA star has an impressive collection of cars to park in his $1 million mansion. Chris drives a Jeep JKU Wrangler Unlimited and a Range Rover. Besides these, he has a gorgeous 1977 Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Sometimes the point guard likes to drive around a Ford GT40 that cost him about $500,000. But how does Paul afford all of this? The house, the cars, vacations? He must have a massive net worth. Well, Chris Paul has accumulated a total net worth of $130 million. The athlete earns a lot of money from basketball. He has a yearly salary of $24 million, meaning he earns about $2 million per month. But basketball isn't the only source of income. He makes a lot of money by his own means as well. Some of his other income sources are brand deals and advertisements. It is known that the basketball legend amasses around $6 million from these ventures every year. He also has investments that continue to boost his net worth every month. Throughout his whole career, it's estimated that the talented point guard has made about $260 million. Let's take a look at what specifically earns Chris Paul money besides his NBA contract. Paul has brand deals with companies like Nike, Beyond Meat, Spalding, and State Farm Mutual Auto Insurance. He also has investments that maintain his $1 million net worth. For example, Paul has invested in companies like Hyperice and Chirpity, which are currently worth about $48 and $4 million each. Other investments feature RSPCT Basketball and Bowery Farming. Even though Chris enjoys his wealth spending on expensive houses and fancy cars, the point guard has always gone out of his way to give back to the community. Chris has always participated in charities and organizations aimed at helping victims of different calamities. Paul has donated to the After School All-Stars, an organization that seeks to provide learning programs conducted after school for families that can't afford ECA. These programs work with multiple schools across the US, and that's not all. Chris also helps other organizations like AIDS Still Required, the Boys and Girls Club of America, Girl Up, and Make It Right, among many more. In addition to that, the point guard also runs the CP3 Foundation and the Chris Paul Family Foundation, which aims to influence people in several sectors like sports, education, and all aspects of life. Now that you know all about the NBA legend, here are a few facts about his early life you might find interesting. For his junior year, CP3 averaged 25 points, 5.3 assists, and 4.4 steals per game, helping West Forsyth reach the state semifinals. Over the ensuing summer, he led Winston-Salem-based Kappa Magic to the national U17 AAU title, earning tournament MVP honors in the process. During his high school year, Chris was named a McDonald's All-American First Team, Parade All-American, and North Carolina's Mr. Basketball by the Charlotte Observer. As a freshman, Paul averaged 14.8 points, 5.9 assists, and 2.7 steals per game for Wake Forest, setting school freshman records for three-point percentage, free throws, free throw percentage, assists, and steals. In the last game of the year, Paul punched North Carolina State guard Julius Hodge in the crotch and got suspended for one game during the ACC tournament, an incident that marked Paul's image for a very short time. If you like this video, you'll surely enjoy our video about Joel Embiid's lifestyle. Now, do you think Chris Paul is one of the greatest point guards ever? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below, be sure to subscribe, and thanks for watching.